Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Recap Media YouTube channel. Please like the video, subscribe to help our channel and enjoy this full video.
Tetsuo asking Takeda if he can depart. Takeda says he's free to go but must forget everything the organization put him through. Tetsuo looks at Kyoichi one final time and leaves the area. Meanwhile, we flash back to Friday at 1:40 a.m., where Keisen's preparing to enter Kyoichi's apartment. She's carrying tools Tetsuo told her to purchase from a store that'd help her enter and escape the apartment. Inside, Keisen searches and finds Kyoichi's safe. She remembers Tetsuo telling her that the safe uses a 4-digit password, leading to many combinations. Keisen takes out the ALS light Tetsuo obtained from one of the previous episodes. She identifies the numbers on the safe but must figure out Kyoichi's code. Keisen has 24 possibilities and starts typing away. After 3 failed attempts, the safe becomes inactive for 10 minutes. After 2 more tries, the safe opens. Keisen places the evidence bag in the safe and returns home. Tetsuo texts Keisen that it's over, making her happy. Not wanting to lose all he worked for, Kyoichi attacks Takeda's men and attempts to flee. Kyoichi reaches the roof and heads toward the path Keisen used to get into his apartment. Kyoichi notices fresh hash marks on something near his apartment and grows suspicious. He enters his apartment to grab some cash he stored in one of his sink's cabinets. Kyoichi causes a scene and informs people that Takeda and his men are robbers and murderers. Kyoichi finds a secluded area and ponders his discoveries. He realizes someone got into his room from the veranda but doesn't know who it could be. He picks up a disguise to avoid people from the organization detecting him. Meanwhile, Tetsuo arrives at Reika's apartment and highlights how terrible he feels for throwing Kyoichi under the bus. Meanwhile, Reika tells Keisen that she'd seen Kyoichi before Nobuto disappeared and believes he was the alleged stalker. Suddenly, different characters receive or make phone calls. The episode closes with Kyoichi calling Matsuri and informing him that Tetsuo is Nobuto's murderer. Kyoichi putting the clues together and realizing Tetsuo and Keisen framed him. He calls Nobuto's father, Matori. Kyoichi tells him Tetsuo killed his son and explains his schemes. Kyoichi says Matori can believe the organization if he wants, but if Matori sides with them, Nobuto's murderer will live a good life. Unlike him, he tells Matori the organization planned to frame someone for Nobuto's murder if they couldn't find the true killer and hand them over to him. Kyoichi tells Matori that the organization didn't care to look for his son when they found out he participated in an armed robbery. They only pretended to find Nobuto because they wanted to use Matori. Matori thanks Kyoichi for the info but doesn't care if Kyoichi or Tetsuo killed Nobuto. He'll have no issue spending time hunting either of them down. Kyoichi thinks he's lost the battle as Matori throws a tantrum in his office. Matori calls Kubo about Tetsuo and asks him to buy him something. Matori and one of Kubo's men visit Reika's apartment. The man unlocks the door, and Matori orders him to leave him alone so he can investigate the area with his ALS light. Tetsuo notices someone's coming, so he hides in Reika's closet. Tetsuo panics and doesn't know why Matori's here. Matori plans to check the bathroom based on feedback he received from Kyoichi during their phone call. Kyoichi tells Matori that Tetsuo may have hidden the body there, but Matori doesn't see anything weird. Tetsuo's certain Matori won't find conclusive evidence because Keisen did some deep cleaning in the bathroom. Although he spots some blood on the toilet, Matori deduces it's a woman's blood sample, not Nobuto's. However, he spots blood splatters on the ground with the ALS light and follows the trail to Reika's closet. Tetsuo realizes he'll have to stop Matori because he can't conjure a way out of this one. Matori cries and drops the light. Realizing his son's death, the light shines on the closet, revealing Nobuto's blood. Matori asks if Tetsuo's here, and Tetsuo reveals he killed Nobuto to him. Tetsuo doesn't know what to do, so he believes his best option is to turn himself into the authorities. Tetsuo listens to Matori's demands but isn't sure if his life's in danger. Matori says he doesn't plan to call the cops. He wants to kill Tetsuo and his family, and this reminds him of their conversation at the bar in a previous episode. Matori explains his horrendous plans for Tetsuo's family to him. Tetsuo and Matori get into a fight, but before Matori calls Kubo, Tetsuo grabs Matori's phone and breaks it. Kubo calls Doi, the man who accompanied Matori to Reika's apartment, to see what's happening. Doi says Matori told him to leave him alone, so Kubo believes it would be best to leave him be. Doi notices cops pulling up to the apartment and panics. Meanwhile, Tetsuo and Matori are bloodied and battered. After sharing their different takes on the situation, the episode closes with Matori choking Tetsuo out with an extension cord. Tetsuo recalling a memory where Reika almost drowned at the beach. This occurs while Matori's choking him out. Matori recalls how he never loved anyone in his past, not his parents nor his wife, even after she was pregnant with Nobuto. Eventually, Nobuto went to a juvenile detention center while Matori quit his job and got divorced. Despite being in a poor state, Matori sought hope in the organization that taught him how to love his son and become human. Matori loses his grip when he remembers Nobuto's death, allowing Tetsuo to free himself from his grasp. Matori tells Tetsuo if he perishes here, the organization will know Tetsuo killed him and will come after his family. Matori pulls out a knife and stabs himself. The police knock on the door, alarming Tetsuo. Not wanting to turn himself in, yet Tetsuo strangles Matori and murders him. Tetsuo tells the police his hands are full and wants to meet with them later. The police suggest meeting face to face right now, but Tetsuo makes up an excuse about a hamster running amok in the apartment. This entices the police to issue a warning to him as they leave. Tetsuo swiftly moves things around in the apartment before Doi enters. Doi looks around and leaves because he thinks Matori left earlier. Meanwhile, Tetsuo's in the bathroom and has Matori's lifeless body in the tub. Doi calls Kubo to report his findings. So Kubo tells him to forget Matori and return to their hideout. He plans to tackle the next mission. Kaisen calls Tetsuo and asks him why he didn't come home for dinner. He doesn't share what happened between himself and Matori and tells Kaisen to protect Reika. While that's happening, Tetsuo plans to bury Matori's body somewhere. Kaisen tells Reika that Tetsuo won't arrive on time for dinner since he's at a meeting. Reika recalls the incident when Tetsuo saved her from drowning. She shares this story with Kaisen because Reika realizes Tetsuo's always looked out for her. As Tetsuo buries Matori's body, he wonders if this madness will ever end. He returns home and sees Kaisen waiting for him in the rain. She slaps him because she was worried he'd never return home. Tetsuo enters the house and notices food on the table. Reika scolds Tetsuo for making them wait and says he shouldn't make Kaisen worry too much about him. They eat their dinner, and we receive a montage of Kaisen, Tetsuo, and Reika enjoying life. Tetsuo takes his family on a trip to the park. Afterwards, they're all sitting in the living room watching a news report about a typhoon that's said to land within their region. The typhoon strikes the area where Tetsuo buried Matori's body. The episode closes with Tetsuo believing everything will be fine.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.